Trevor Lawrence, the heart and soul of the Jacksonville Jaguars offense, suffered a shocking and brutal late hit during Sunday's high-stakes game against the Houston Texans, a hit so severe it ignited an all-out brawl on the field between both teams. What began as a routine scramble for the first down marker spiraled into chaos, leaving Lawrence lying on the turf and the crowd at a loss for words. Play unfolded with just 4 minutes left in the second quarter. The Jaguars, locked in a hard-fought battle with their divisional rivals, were pushing to sustain a crucial drive. The atmosphere was electric, with fans cheering passionately and players locked in a tense back-and-forth struggle. As the pocket began to collapse under the relentless pressure of the Texans' defense, Lawrence used his instincts to escape. With his signature agility and awareness, he darted out of the collapsing protection, scanning for an open receiver. When no clear option emerged, he took matters into his own hands, tucking the ball and sprinting toward the sideline. It was a calculated risk, the kind of decision that sets elite quarterbacks apart. Lawrence knew the importance of gaining those extra yards, but he also knew the potential dangers of leaving the pocket. Quarterbacks, especially those as talented and high-profile as Lawrence, often become prime targets when they venture into open space. As he neared the first down marker, the Jaguars' faithful held their breath, willing their star player to succeed. Sensing the incoming defenders, Lawrence made the decision to slide, a textbook maneuver designed to protect quarterbacks from unnecessary contact. But what followed was anything but textbook. Linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair, barreling toward Lawrence with a mix of determination and momentum, failed to pull back in time. Whether it was a misjudgment, a lapse in awareness, or simply the split-second nature of the game, Al-Shaair's actions sent shockwaves through the stadium. He collided with Lawrence, delivering a late hit that sent the quarterback sprawling. The impact was jarring, a violent meeting of speed, power, and vulnerability that left Lawrence motionless on the ground. The reaction was immediate and visceral. As the crowd erupted in a mix of outrage and disbelief, Lawrence's teammates rushed to his defense. Offensive linemen, wide receivers, and even members of the defensive unit stormed toward Al-Shaair, their protective instincts overriding any thoughts of restraint. Texans, seeing their linebacker surrounded, quickly intervened, and what began as a heated exchange escalated into a full-blown brawl. On the field, chaos reigned. Players shoved and grappled with one another, their voices rising above the din of the crowd. The intensity of the altercation mirrored the stakes of the game, with emotions running high on both sides. Referees and coaches scrambled to restore order, their shouts barely audible over the commotion. For fans in the stands and those watching at home, the scene was as compelling as it was unsettling, a raw display of the passion and volatility that define professional football. Amid the melee, Lawrence remained on the ground, a stark reminder of the incident that had sparked the confrontation. Medical personnel rushed to his side, their urgent movements underscoring the seriousness of the situation. The sight of the young quarterback lying motionless was a gut-wrenching one, a stark contrast to his usual poise and vitality. As the trainers carefully assessed his condition, the crowd fell silent, the gravity of the moment sinking in. After several tense minutes, the decision was made to cart Lawrence off the field. The sight of the cart, a dreaded symbol of serious injury in the NFL, elicited a wave of emotion from the crowd. Fans cheered in support, their voices filled with a mix of hope and fear, while players from both teams looked on with somber expressions. For Lawrence's teammates, the moment was particularly devastating. Their leader, the player they relied on to guide them through the toughest moments, was being taken away, his immediate future uncertain. The Jaguars later confirmed that Lawrence had suffered a concussion, a diagnosis that came as little surprise to anyone who had witnessed the hit. Concussions, while not uncommon in football, are among the most serious injuries a player can sustain, with implications that extend beyond the game itself. For Lawrence, the road to recovery would require not only physical healing but also careful monitoring and adherence to the NFL's strict concussion protocols. As the game resumed, the shadow of Lawrence's injury and the subsequent brawl lingered over the field. Tension between the two teams was palpable, with every play carrying the potential for another flare-up. For the Jaguars, the challenge was twofold. They had to contend with the emotional blow of losing their leader while also adjusting their game plan on the fly. For the Texans, the incident added an additional layer of scrutiny, with fans and analysts alike questioning the actions of their linebacker. Off the field, the incident sparked widespread debate. Social media lit up with reactions, ranging from outrage over Al-Shaair's hit to sympathy for Lawrence and his teammates. Jaguars fans, in particular, were vocal in their condemnation of the play, calling for disciplinary action against Al-Shaair. Texans supporters, meanwhile, defended their player, arguing that the collision was an unfortunate byproduct of the game's speed and intensity. The incident also reignited broader conversations about player safety in the NFL. While the league has taken significant steps in recent years to protect players, particularly quarterbacks, moments like this serve as a stark reminder of the risks inherent in the sport. Critics questioned whether current rules and enforcement were sufficient, while others pointed to the challenges of balancing safety with the physical nature of the game. For the Jaguars, the loss of Lawrence was a devastating blow, both in the immediate context of the game and in the broader scope of their season. As the team's undisputed leader and one of the most promising young quarterbacks in the league, Lawrence's presence on the field is invaluable. His ability to read defenses, make quick decisions, and deliver precise throws is a cornerstone of the Jaguars' offensive strategy. Without him, the team faces an uphill battle, relying on their backup quarterback to step into an unenviable role. In the days following the game, Lawrence's injury continued to dominate headlines. Updates on his condition became a focal point for fans and analysts, with every piece of news scrutinized for signs of progress or setbacks. The Jaguars organization, while cautious in their public statements, expressed optimism about Lawrence's recovery, emphasizing their commitment to his long-term health and well-being. The brawl itself also remained a topic of discussion, with the NFL announcing its intention to review the incident and assess potential disciplinary actions. Fines and suspensions seemed likely, as the league sought to send a message about the importance of maintaining order and sportsmanship, even in the face of high-stakes competition. As the Jaguars prepare for their next game, the team faces a moment of reckoning. They must find a way to rally together, drawing strength from their shared adversity. For Lawrence, the path forward will require resilience and determination, qualities he has demonstrated throughout his career. While the timeline for his return remains uncertain, his impact on the team extends beyond the field, serving as a source of inspiration and motivation for his teammates. In the end, Sunday's game will be remembered not for its final score but for the dramatic and emotional events that unfolded. It was a reminder of the highs and lows of professional football, a sport that demands not only physical prowess but also mental fortitude and an unyielding commitment to the team.